So I'm back at the hot Planinski Dompo Jezo, and from here it's 13 kilometers back to Tolmin. First I have a climb up the two mountains, Jezo and Nagradu, and then it's descending all the way to Tolmin. But first there's the open air museum Kolovrat, dedicated to the First World War, which has restored trenches and bunkers, so I will be spending some time there. Because I'm staying in Tolmin again, I can slack pack today, and my backpack is really light. I basically only have water and a few sandwiches and snacks and nothing else. So it should be very enjoyable today, I think. It's not as hot as the past few days, and hopefully I'll be in the forest and it will be even cooler. This morning I did eat a somewhat decent breakfast, a sandwich, some pineapple pieces and some yogurt and a Coca-Cola. So not the healthiest breakfast, but I'm feeling full and I'm feeling strong. So I'm looking forward to this hike. Let's hike! So I've made it to the top of Jezo. Not a really long climb, but because it's warm and rather steep, I'm sweating again and I need a moment to catch my breath. There were switchbacks, so it wasn't really hard, but it was a bit of work. So here's the stamp for your Juliana passport, which I forgot to buy. And in the box over here, there's an ink pad and also a mountain summit registration form, if you're so inclined. Surely this can't be it yet. It's too early still. There's a little cairn here, and the trails are going downhill from here. So this could be it, but I'm still not sure. This mountain sure is confusing me. The feeling we're hiking through old trenches from the First World War, which means we should be nearing the top of the mountain, because this was one of the strongholds where the fighting was particularly heavy, I think. But I have to read up on that in the guidebook. I think this must be Kolovrat already, the open air museum. because I think what I'm looking at now are the restored trenches. So let's go have a look. It's not immediately obvious where I go from here. There are no way markers for the Juliana trail here in the museum. The GPS has me hiking on the street, which is not what I want to do at all. So I'm just going to have a look around and see what's interesting here. And I'm sure I'll find way markers at the entrance to the open air museum again. So apparently there's a hiking event called the Highlander, and it's 100 kilometers in 5 days. And I think 150 people hiked 60 kilometers and 40 people are hiking the full 100 kilometers. So on my way down, I keep meeting hikers on the way up, and they are sweating and it's quite hard. So I prefer hiking in this direction. I think I made the right choice for sure. We Dutch have a reputation for being direct. So when a group of hikers just now asked if they were close to the top, I was like, no, absolutely not, not even close. Which made them laugh, fortunately. But if I said they were close to the top, I'd be lying. But I could make them a little bit happier saying that the gift shop had Coca-Cola and perhaps also beer. But I don't drink alcohol, so I don't pay much attention to the selling of alcoholic beverages. But hopefully the thought of beer is a bit motivating for them to make it the last stretch uphill, because it's not only quite warm but also very humid, and it's not so much trouble descending, but ascending they were all sweating very much. There was a little tap at the junction, but there was only a drizzle, not enough water to drink or even to dunk my head, unfortunately. Of course, this trail is now in the shade, so it's not really too bad, and I'm making my way downwards to Tolmin quite rapidly. I'm starting to hear water, so I must be nearing the bottom of the valley, and it's getting way hotter too. So for sure a sign that I'm hopefully reaching the end. Not that I mind, because the trail's absolutely gorgeous, but I have my eye on a side trip that I want to do. So I want to make it to Tolmin at least before 3. I'm taking a short break, not necessarily because I want to, but because I need to, I think. I was getting a bit hungry, and boy did that sandwich disappear fast, so that was high time. I've been hiking for 3 hours, and strangely enough I'm only about a little more than halfway, so still 6 kilometers to the village, to Tolmin. So I'm not sure I will make it in time to do the side trip, which takes about 2 hours. But Vesna said the tourist office might close at 5 or 7, not sure which. So hopefully it will be 7 and I can still do the side trip, because that's supposed to be amazing. Church with a cemetery and a tap. I can see the green. We call them in Dutch gieters. I don't know the English word. I'll have to look it up. But there's water there. You can never have enough water. You see something new every day, every journey. In the Netherlands we have vending machines for bread, for cheese, for milk, for fruits, for eggs, for anything really. But I've never seen a vending machine for church candles before. I think the side trip just has to wait maybe half an hour. So half an hour might have been a tad optimistic, because man, that water was cold. Apparently the Soca river is glacial water, and it was noticeable. It was absolutely freezing, and it felt wonderful. So somehow the only thing better than dunking your head under a step is dunking your entire body in a glacial river. And I was still wearing my shirt, because one thing I learned in Costa Rica, if you're really, really hot, then you just go for a swim, and the wet clothes will keep you cool for a while longer, even when you're out of the water. So I will dry out soon enough, and the shirt was overdue for washing anyway. So today's stage ends at the tourist information office, which is right next to the hostel. But let me buy some grocery first. That will prevent me from having to go back and forth. And I still forgot to buy electrolytes, so that's a priority. So I'm back at the hostel. I'm sure the trail made a right turn slightly before the hostel, but I was too eager to get back and get a proper drink. I bought some drink yogurt, strawberry flavored, and that's always lovely. We also had a sandwich left and some pineapple pieces. So I'm still a bit hungry, and going to take a breather before I start heading out for the side trip. I did 13 kilometers in about 4.5 hours. and the other way around, the guidebook said 5 hours, but I'm sure I would never have made it in 5 hours. Now, as far as the side trip, it's to the Tolmin Gorge, about 7.5 kilometers. It takes 2 hours according to the guidebook. And he says, of all the gorges you'll see on the trail, this is among the most beautiful. So once I've taken a rest here for maybe 15-20 minutes, then I'll be heading off again. So I was all gung-ho going to the gorge when I thought, what am I doing? The kind lady in the tourist office said you could enter the gorge until 7 o'clock in the evening, and when I left to go to the gorge it was only 3:30. So instead I turned around, went to the river and spent a lovely hour and a half soaking in the freezing cold water. My clothes are still cold, but the temperature has come down a little bit, so I think I'm ready to explore the gorge after all. The tourist information office is across the street, but I'm not going to cross just to start there. It's still too hot for this nonsense. But you cross the street and then you pass by Hostel Paradiso and go up the street until a car park about 500 meters or so up the street. So from the car park there's a waymarked route all the way to the entrance of the gorge. I'm really glad I waited, because the heat is not nearly as oppressive as it was 2 hours ago. So if weather allows, perhaps you could also choose to travel to the gorge a bit later in the day. So when you buy a ticket, you get a map, and from then on it's only following the numbers. It should take about an hour, hour and a half, the whole loop, and then you're back at the entrance. the Tolmin Gorge this late in the afternoon is that I have the whole gorge to myself. There was one family with a couple of children having a picnic, but apart from them I didn't see anyone else, which was quite convenient for taking pictures and videos without invading anyone's privacy. The only problem I see now is that this is the first gorge I've seen in Slovenia, and thus it set the standard for all other gorges. According to the guidebook author, this is one of the most beautiful gorges in Slovenia, so the other gorges have a lot to live up to. But for now, back to the Juliana trail. See you tomorrow.